A word for our listeners. Achtung Cthulhu is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerds Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our investigators uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring George Chimples, Phil Durham, Rob Walker, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as the keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm Matt, and I'm here with Shirley.
Hello.
Rob.
Having a good time.
And Phil.
Still not on mute.
It's a morphine-induced good time.
So, last we left you guys, William was dozing off in the sidecar of a motorcycle.
No, we got him out of this.
No, Rob, let's talk about your ride in the sidecar, because you did doze off. Something about the roads and the bumping and the nice rhythm and
the morphine. Don't forget that part.
You have some very lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
You find yourself dealing with the plateau that you saw before and what was there. You also get a chance to see a few other areas that you hadn't been to before, but it's like in and out, quick in, see it, quick out.
And I'm clearly not conscious enough to like really interact.
Right. This is like, you know how fever dreams, sometimes you're like, you can feel that you're dreaming, but not.
Yes.
That's kind of the situation that you're in right now. So yeah, at the towards the end, because you keep kind of waking up and not, and you get the idea that you guys are going to be pulling over soon, and you find yourself falling back into the dream. And standing in front of you is a woman. She looks young-ish. It's not a woman you've seen before. Very blonde hair, almost like a platinum blonde, but it looks natural. Very striking features, very pretty, but very hard in the eyes. She kind of stands before you and kind of approaches your dream self. And you know you're in that dream state where you know you're dreaming and you know it's your dream self. But
right.
You're also, given what you've experienced before, you're not sure that this is actually not going to affect you.
Right.
So, I would say, that's kind of where you're at. When she approaches you, you can feel her hand kind of press on your chest. You don't have any wounds, so that's always good. But it's a very real touch. Like feel like you're being touched.
I still feel the pains of the real world?
They're deadened. They're deadened, but not by morphine.
So I notice that they're there. I know that they're there, but it's not really affecting me.
Right. Doctor, what are you doing here?
I don't know. I
think you do. What are you doing here? Why did you make a mess?
A mess of what?
Of what mess of the castle?
That wasn't necessarily my intention.
Doctor, you stole papers. You came to learn.
I always come to learn.
Why did you flee?
I have to keep up pretenses.
It's not about pretenses. You are either in or out. There's nothing that the Americans have that we need.
You'd be surprised what they have.
No, I wouldn't.
You know all that they have?
I don't know all that they have, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, well, that's a fair point. Just tell you, there's useful information on both sides. I didn't come into this knowing nothing.
They're the people they have working on their sides. I know better than you do. Ask the professor about his opium addiction.
Which professor?
Weld.
Which one was Weld? Sorry. Which one was Weld?
He was one of the guys at FBI. He's a professor at Arkham. He was also one of the guys that was working with the FBI, and now he is part of Jestin. Is it Jestin? Am I whatever group you're working for in
MI6
the British
or whatever
group.
it is.
Yeah. So you're he's essentially the research head at this point.
So the professor's been coming here.
Oh no.
Oh.
I know him so many other ways.
Oh.
I knew him long before now. Nitocris and Wilkerson told me so many things.
But Nitocris is dead.
Oh, is she?
That's fun. I like that. Well, as last I saw, she was.
Perhaps I should let her know.
Oh, well.
Not the first time she'd been dead.
I mean, I walk through the gates. I accept the direction that I'm taking.
So you believe in the Black Sun?
I've seen it. I've stood before it.
And what if I could tell you that there was a more scientific route to enlightenment? What if I could tell you that there were ancient aliens?
Everything you just said made me smile and happy. I want everyone to know I'm smiling right now. This is great.
The Atlantean culture is not a myth, and I can show you their histories.
That would be exceptional.
Then turn around and come back.
Turn back to
us. Bring the 3 of those that are with you. Come back. Come to Innsbruck. Turn yourselves in. They won't be harmed. Well, the Irishmen won't be harmed.
You know
the Brits might be murdered for as enemy spies.
You know that I'm heavily wounded.
And where do you think you're going to find doctors?
And
are there better doctors than Germans?
No. That's not my implication. My implication is that the Irishman is not going to come easily.
I guess that's your concern, not mine.
Is there a boon I can get? Is there a knowledge piece or something that can help me?
I'm not even sure what you're asking for.
Well, I'm asking her. Like, is there some way that she can help?
Oh, to get
to be more persuasive.
Somebody's in charge. Have them make it happen.
Somebody's.
You're in charge of the mission.
Yes.
Period. Now, whether or not that actually works with Blake is a whole other matter. But you're in charge of the mission.
Right. And whether or not they take that, like, it's like I've got to have a reason to go back to Innsbruck.
Tell them that you saw in the dream that Weiberwolf was there. You might even be able to get Carlos to come back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. She doesn't call him Carlos. She calls him the Spaniard.
Right. So you're not wanting me back right now.
Oh, the sooner the better, but if it takes time.
Okay.
Innsbruck.
Let me make a note.
I think that's the name of the town in Austria. If I'm completely wrong, but I believe that's the name.
It could be a town now. We don't care.
Well, no, I mean it's actually a major city in Austria,
right,
along the German border. So, either way, yes, it should be time. And then she kind of reaches out to pat you on the cheek, and the first pat is very solid. The second one you can feel kind of brush through your face. The third one you don't feel at all.
Because I'm drifting back.
Kind of wake up. And that's when the bikes pull over. Sorry, I just wanted to give you a little. You haven't done much in two
right,
episodes.
Right. So she's now gone into...
Yeah. Like, you guys pull over, and, and you're still kind of waking up as she...
So everyone else is with me still.
Mm-hmm.
She's
gone.
in the police station, potentially.
Well, no, she's still in the tavern. We haven't seen how bad that goes.
Or whatever happens there.
Do you have papers?
No ticket.
Well played. So now I can actually interact with Blake. Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Think that over for a second. Shirley.
Think that over if you want to interact
Yes.
with me.
Don't you metagame on me.
So you are sitting in the tavern. The constable sitting next to you. He has invited you back to the station, kind of politely. Hasn't really even been rude.
Have I done something wrong?
Do you have your papers?
No, not with me.
Because you don't sound Swiss.
I'm not Swiss.
And if you travel across the border, you need papers. Or you're a German spy. Would you prefer to be missing your papers or a German spy? One of those we get to hang you in the town square.
So I would love to see your station.
He stands up and picks up your beer and puts it in your hands. Says, "Come on." And you guys
Trot right
walk
after him.
like down the street, like half a block and across, and walk into a nondescript building. Doesn't seem to be anything special, but it is clearly a police station once you step inside.
Is there a label for the town? Do we know what this town is?
No, it's some small Swiss town that hasn't been decided upon what it is yet.
But we're in Switzerland now.
Yes,
Okay.
it's Swiston. That's the name of the town.
Swiston, got it.
Whoa.
He kind of motions to a chair across from the desk. It's a really small, like, it's Mayberry.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally, that's the setup. It's got 2 desks, 2 cells. That's it. There's no other room. He motions for you to sit down across the desk from him. He goes and sits down at the desk, and he pulls out some paperwork. So, give me your name.
I'll tell him my name.
Your real name?
The name that I'm under the guise of.
Okay. You didn't actually have a specific guise, but I'm sure at some point you guys gave them names in case. And what town are you from?
I'm sure we would have worked that out. So
Okay,
I would
that's
be
fine.
like blah blah blah
So-
blah.
Okay. He starts taking notes on your personal, like where you're from. What brought you across the border?
Work.
When?
I've been wandering for some time.
Define some time.
When things start getting bad in Austria.
You've been wandering for 20 years?
Recently bad.
Before or after Germany declared war?
It would have been before because they came into town and tried to recruit the boys.
So,
And
do you realize that
didn't
you are
want any part of that?
you are not welcome here? You know, in Switzerland?
Why am I not welcome here?
Because
Do I know this? Like,
yeah,
would
like
I
this would be a
know?
thing that, like, you understand that, like, Switzerland maintains neutrality barely through World War II. I mean, essentially, they were always concerned
Whose
that
side are they on?
no one's, but they were always afraid that Germany was going to come in, and they're a very small country with,
Right.
like, the literally the German army is larger than the population of Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
So if they came through, it wouldn't take much.
Right. I do understand that, but I'm asking for a little leniency considering the situation.
There's not much leniency I can do. I can either escort you back to the border and send you on your way, or we have to start some sort of official proceedings.
Well, I don't want to cause any troubles. I can go about my way and head back to the border on my own.
I will either escort you, or we will fill out paperwork, and I'll have to send you somewhere else to be
So
processed.
when he says border, does he mean that stupid checkpoint?
No, not that far away.
Oh, okay.
You're probably 10 minutes from the border. This is a border
okay.
city, or a border town.
Oh, okay.
Like, you guys just got over the border, walked here. Meanwhile, they're back waiting for you on this side of the border. This is kind of to be expected. Like, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, but like the constable moved off awful quickly when they saw somebody.
So I'm British.
Yes.
That would be English, right?
Yes.
I would drop my German and ask him if he speaks English.
In English?
Yes.
He looks at you strangely, and he says, "A very little, mostly broken."
I wouldn't say comrades. Me and some my friends and I just came over from Austria, and we need help or passage through.
Do you have papers?
Would Brian have something? I mean, what would I have in my backpack?
If you were caught with,
I wouldn't like. The thing is, like, what had I used to prove it this time that I need to get a hold of the, British embassy or whatever.
You could put in communication through channels, but it might take days or longer.
And we don't want to stay here days.
Right. Can you give me an idea?
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
So what you could do is say, yeah, let's go back to the border, and then walk him directly to the other guys with guns out.
I'm sorry, what?
So you'd be like, okay,
You
let's
want me
just,
to pull a gun on him?
once you get back to the other people with guns as well.
Why would I do that if I'm trying to make a friend?
Because then that way you can say, forget we were here, we're going to tie you to this tree, you'll eventually get out, don't worry about it. And then you guys just go.
Let's do that.
That way at least you eliminate this particular issue,
Right.
then you can move on.
Okay. That sounds like a
And
good
tying
idea.
a guy to a tree for a couple of hours is not...
Yeah, not that
You're not
big of a
hurting
deal.
him or killing him, so
Yes.
you want to head back to the border.
Yes.
Okay. He kind of stands up and says, "Okay, let's get going." And he grabs like a walking stick, or he grabs his cap, like he's expecting maybe potentially rain, and starts out the door and watches you follow him. Doesn't lock the door behind him.
All right.
You guys start walking towards
I'm finishing my beer.
the border. Oh, I assumed you finished it
Oh, okay.
in the police station. So you guys start heading back towards the border. That's going to be a little bit. Go ahead. What were you going to do, Rob?
While we're waiting on her, I'm going to call the private over with maps. Some of the maps that we snagged.
Yeah, he comes over.
Okay. I'm we got to look at these maps together. We got to figure out where we're at, and I'm looking. I'm pouring it over. I'm trying to find Innsbruck.
Innsbruck is 5 or 6 hours back the way you came.
Okay. That's a long distance. I'm not going to be able to talk everybody into that. Okay, I'm going to tell the private I need medical attention immediately. That's the wounds aren't closing. I'm starting to bleed, and I show him a bloody spot on me.
Okay. You're asking the private to do that?
I'm telling. No, I'm not asking the private to first aid. I'm telling. It's more of a directive. Like we can't keep traveling like this. I need attention.
Blake, do you want to look at that, or what do you want to do?
If the private is there, I'm probably keeping an eye out for anyone approaching us. So I would presumably not be there at that moment unless called upon, or the issue is brought up when I return. So I will see if that issue is pressed further in my absence.
I'm going to try to explain to the private, because I've got medicine, and try to explain to him, like, this is an area where there's some key kidneys. If I've got internal bleeding, then I'm not going to survive much longer. Like, this needs to happen ASAP.
I'm sorry, did you say key kidneys instead of...
No, key. Did I say... I meant organs.
You said key kidneys? This is where my key kidneys go. Now,
This is
the
my-
secondary kidneys, those are not as important. Those are over here.
Those are on the other side.
This one up front, I need that kidney. That's the one that's got the key to my heart right there.
Look, man, all of my humors are out of whack. I'm going to need you to get some leeches.
I've got some green goo coming. No, I mean I'm gonna explain to him like.
Can you roll medicine for me?
Yeah.
So you can bluff about your key kidneys.
Got it.
Okay. He seems concerned. So should we take you down to the town?
I don't know if the town's going to have what we need. I need a city.
He starts looking on the town. You're going to make me get a map out. You're a jerk.
Have you met Rob?
Have you met Rob? Yes, I have met Rob. I just didn't think I'd have to get Google Maps out because Rob's a dingleberry. Schweizerland. Liechtenstein.
You just want us to go to Liechtenstein.
Well, if we... He points out a town called... or a city called St. Gallen. It's probably about an hour's drive. If you had a car, but you don't, you just ditched your bikes.
And we disabled them.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And the keys in the woods.
Nobody is moving those bikes.
That would probably be the biggest town. And about the only option. Because you're in Oberjet. Or Oberre. Whatever. And yeah. St. Gallen is going to be the next biggest. It's over on the other side of the mountain, so you actually have to go around the mountain to get to it.
Convenient.
The only other option would be back.
We'll be coming around the mountain when we come.
Vaduz in Liechtenstein might be close, but it's also going to be, one, you're going to have to cross a border there. And two, that's going to put you about an hour away. Anything else is going to be... Yeah. Completely the other direction. Back into Germany. Which nobody wants that. Innsbruck. Did I say Innsbruck originally?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. I got that one right. Yeah, Innsbruck is going to be... Oh, it's probably only... Yeah, 5-6 hours the other way.
Okay.
So, we got to get a car either way.
Right. We need to get a car. Brian.
Yes.
I updated him on the situation. Do you want to repeat all that?
No.
Okay.
Unless you're going to give me a different story than you gave the private.
No, I'm giving him the same story.
Do I believe his medical...
Why don't you roll Persuade?
No.
Seems a little fishy, but it could also just be that the
He's
morphine.
doped up on morphine, yeah.
I mean, not to say that he's lying about it, but that his words aren't as convincing as they could be.
Fair, yeah, okay.
He keeps telling you about his important kidneys. These kidneys here, these are vital kidneys.
Well, I read it in a tome once.
Oh. I think you mean tomb.
Ah, do I now?
How long has it been since we sent the other corporal into the town?
Half hour or so. It's probably a 10-minute walk into town at least from where you're at, and then a 10-minute walk back, at bare minimum. So, I mean...
I should hope that the other corporal should be back within the next 30 minutes. We're not going to get you to... If your life and death hangs in the next 30 minutes, I don't know that we're going to be able to make that up either way. So
It's not the next 30 minutes, but it's not good.
Yeah. As soon as she gets back, we can try to take the quickest action to get you to a major city.
We need to solve this problem.
Okay.
All right, so it's about, I'd say, half an hour after that the corporal comes up and is being, Brian, you're on watch. You see the corporal being kind of guided by another gentleman. And Corporal, could you roll, I'm sorry, Shirley, could you roll Fieldcraft for me? This is for conceal.
Yes.
Okay. So you see her. You see the corporal kind of motion at where his gun would be hidden, and then point at the guy with him.
Do I think that I could move to be behind this other person?
Maybe, but not. I mean, you might be seen. It's likely that you would be seen.
Okay. Could I hide in a spot so that maybe as they pass by, I can kind of either jump out or come from behind?
Yeah, you can
with my pistol out. Then that will be my plan, and hopefully at some distance from the rest of the party.
Okay. And are you going to have the private do the same?
Somebody should be with Limper McDoperson at all times.
Okay. So he doesn't run off by himself back to Innsbruck?
Well, he's doped up. Who knows what he's going to do?
That's fair. Okay, so they walk they get right almost on you, and the gentleman stops, and he kind of looks around. He says, "This isn't really the best path back to the border. We should go a different way. This is going to take a long walk if we keep going up this particular trail."
Is the other corporal between me and this other person at this moment?
No, kind of not across, but on the other side.
I'd have a clear shot if I stepped out now?
Yeah.
So I'd step out at that point.
With your rifle out, I assume?
I don't have a rifle.
Or your pistol out?
Yeah.
Okay. So you step out with your pistol. Do you pull yours? Yep. Okay. Are you going to fire?
No.
Oh, my God. He's like, I'm going to, yes, I pull out my rifle.
I'm just waiting.
Get to the killing.
I cast fireball.
Corporal?
He kind of looks at both of you with the guns out, and he kind of just drops his hand to his sides, or brings his hands kind of up to, like, surrendering, and says, "Okay, what's going on?"
This is the
You're speaking in English
of the town. Yes.
Okay.
This is the constable of the town.
And you're here against your other wise wishes?
We are to be escorted to the border back from whence we came.
I see. Well, that's not going to work.
I think we could probably tie him up.
I'm all for being tied up. Like, if this is, you guys aren't obviously not German. You're definitely not German. You have a slight Irish accent, I would assume. So if this is something that isn't Germans coming, like, I'll shake my finger at you and say that I'm not a fan of it. I'm sure the Swiss government would be very upset if they find this out, but
we wish you no harm, but we must be on our way, and it is not towards Germany.
And you are going to do your best to not cause no harm in Switzerland.
Yeah, we have no qualms against Swiss.
This tree right here is going to be the best. It's not too wide, and you're going to get a tie on me.
All right, there you go.
Kind of walks over and like
that neutral mentality, man.
puts his hands kind of at his sides against the tree and says, "Go ahead. I mean, don't tie it too tight that I can't get out, because I don't want to. There are bears in the hills, so that would be bad." But
drop bears.
Oh.
Is there any? Are there any places that we should avoid, and are there any places that may?
I'd stay out of the big towns for a little bit if you can.
That may be of medical assistance to us.
You're better off getting to France.
Boy,
it's only the better part of a day by car if you can get one.
I kind of glance at William and then glance at him, and
does the local constabulary have a car?
You're gonna steal my car too.
I know that you don't have any choice in this matter, but
is there any compensation that we can give him?
What's that?
Is there any compensation we can give him?
You know what? Just make sure that you leave the car somewhere it can come back.
Yeah, just this side of the border. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want the car to get lost on its way back. All right.
Does he actually say that?
No, William's not there.
Oh.
Even if he's there, he's not really all there.
I just don't want it in the bottom of a lake or something.
Oh no.
Yeah,
wouldn't.
we won't treat your vehicle like we did the German vehicles.
Okay. I'm not saying the keys are in my pocket, but if you check my pocket, you'll find the keys.
Yeah.
I would suggest I do have a couple of deputies in town, so you're going to want to grab that and go. Don't fiddle around in town.
Yeah.
So you tie him up?
Time up. Get the keys. Corporal, figure out if there is anything that we can leave him for his troubles.
Do we have anything in our backpacks?
You do have some Deutschmarks, maybe a couple, maybe $50, $60 worth of Deutschmarks, which, whatever that would be.
And the 40s, how much is that?
Well, the Deutschmarks fluctuating.
It's not going to be a whole car, and he's going to get the car back, but just kind of we're not trying to be awful people. It's just the gesture is more what I'm trying to do than to be a whole value of the car.
So let's just drop that. Put that in his pocket.
Okay. So you guys run for the town, grab the car, and drive. Are you? Or I'm sorry. You grab his stuff. You go back to get William.
We need to find a city that's a city. Even if it's, because we're in Austria, you are.
No, Swiss. No, what?
No, you're
No,
in
we're in
Switzerland.
Or Switzerland, but we're not going to be able to stay in Switzerland. We're going to have to move through.
We need to go to France.
I don't think I'm going to make it that long.
So
I don't
it's
know
an
that
hour.
I am.
Our day?
Day and a
Better
half.
part of a day. Yeah.
Yeah, day.
And that's the border, not to a major city.
Right. I think as much as we don't like the idea, somewhere here they're gonna have the technology to do what they need to do. That's the one thing we have to give is that they have the capability.
Maybe if we get closer to France.
Would we
And a city closer to France.
On the map, was there a city closer? Because we'd already looked at the cities.
I'm sorry. From here, St. Gallen, Zurich, Bern.
What would be the closest to France that we would be able to get medical attention?
Bern.
All right, then that's it.
Well, are any of those the capital?
No. Yes, Zurich. No,
Would
I don't know. Maybe Bern. I don't. You know what? I don't know my capital. It's Switzerland.
I thought Zurich was the capital. Of
In a
Switzerland.
major, in a major city, we can blend in and we can disappear. The important part is,
does one of them that we would know as our characters have a British embassy?
Bernwood. I'm assuming Bern. Yeah, Bernwood.
How far away is Bern?
The better part of a day. It's going to be close to the border either way.
they're trying to avoid going where I need to go.
This is all the wrong way for you.
I know.
Okay.
Would we expect that if we stopped at a hospital that they would treat him before they kicked us out of the country?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they'd definitely treat him before they kicked you out of the country.
Do I believe that do I believe, not based on what he said, because he's doped up, do I believe that he's that close to dying?
What's your first date's 36?
Yes.
Best you could tell, he's hurt pretty bad. A good jostle could kill him. It really could. He's in shock. You're out of morphine, so he's going to be in extreme pain, which that kind of pain can cause more damage on the body as it goes. He could be internal bleeding. Anytime he could catch infection, even if you guys did everything right, he could still die from infection. It may not be. He may be exaggerating the severity, but he could also be right. You don't know quite either way. What you know is if he was in the field, you'd immediately send him back to the hospital. End of discussion.
So I map out. So our route to Bern would also be the quickest route to France.
So literally, you're going to go from where you're at through St. Gallen, through Zurich to get to Bern. Bern is. There's a map. For our listeners at home, if you
so here's basically what I'm considering doing.
So you're over here.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go through St. Gallen to Zurich. Bern is here. This is all France.
Okay. And that's the fastest way to France.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I'll say, this is the path we're taking to France. Pick a city, and we will leave you there. Or you can stay with us. I can't risk the rest of this party being possibly taken back to Germany, but I understand that you need to live.
If you're leaving me somewhere, leave me in Innsbruck.
That's back into enemy territory.
I know.
That's not an option that I'm going to give you. And why Innsbruck?
That is a fair question.
The papers that I've read recently are they've got a major treatment advancements that they've made.
Yeah, you're going to need to roll persuasion.
I don't know if I got a sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hella no.
This dude is doped a lot, but that really does not sound like...
I really think that that's not in your best interest based on what drugs you're on right now. I think that you should pick one of these cities that are whatever one you think is going to be best for you along this route, because we need to go that way if you're not going to stick with us.
They're going to leave me alone in the city. It's not actually a bad idea. Okay.
Yeah. Metagaming, I'm like, I'm going to let him just go back there. But, character-wise, I can't think of a reason why I would say, like, no, you have to die with us.
No, if I were persuasive, I might have been able to get through that. But
Persuasive and not drugged.
And not drugged. Yeah, that doesn't help at all.
I might have believed that Innsbruck was the place, but I don't think you were ever going to get me to go back into enemy territory.
It's still in Austria, I thought. I mean, we're not going to be out of Austria.
You're out of Austria now.
Right.
In Switzerland. Austria is part of Germany.
I know that. So we're traveling through Switzerland then instead of. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were.
No,
Oh.
you're going. You're
All
here,
Swiss cities.
going
Okay.
this
Okay.
way.
That's that. Never mind. Then that didn't make sense because that was. I thought we were traveling through.
Okay, so are you striking that request?
Yeah. Leave me in Saint Galbsburg or whatever.
St. Gallen.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, that one.
Okay, because that is important to my character that you never asked to go back
Right, yeah,
into
no.
enemy territory.
No.
Okay.
I thought we were stuck in enemy territory. I was mistaking my maps.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we can strike that from the record. Ixnay.
I would like to go 5 hours the opposite direction first. You can leave me there, and then fight your way back through Germany, and then through Switzerland. It'll all be good.
No, I didn't realize we were actually going to travel through Switzerland. I
Yeah.
thought after we decided to leave, we were leaving it.
Oh, no. I think that was more of a let's catch the guy. Okay, so you guys are headed to St. Gallen and dropping off the professor at the hospital and just leaving him there?
That's my plan. I'm not going to order the other people not to stay behind, but I don't see why they would stick with him.
As the commanding officer of this mission, I'm going to go ahead and agree with that point.
To be left behind? Okay.
Not to risk them falling back into German territory if they're
Right. I don't want to risk the team for the negligence of me.
So you guys get to St. Gallen. You could drop him off at the hospital, and then you move on to France.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there. You guys leave the car just out on the border of France and Switzerland. You make your way into France, which allied country of England. You on your way home. You meet up with the group on the boat, the rest of the group on the boat. That's probably where we'll pick it up. That'll do us tonight for the Nerds Domain Presents I Forgot to Hit the Button. Hold on. Masks of Nyarlathotep. Yeah, there it is.
And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us on facebook.com/nerdsdomain, on Twitter @nerdsdomain, or over at our site, nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Josh Schock for our music. Don't forget, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain. And check out our shirts at slashloot.com.